guys, and welcome back to Gabbing with Jessa. Today I have another movie review for you. I know I'm about a week late on this video, but I was busy last weekend and I've finally gotten around to it. I have finally seen the brand new Joker film. I'm going to be giving my review on the Joker, however, I wanted to put a little bit of a different spin on this review. This movie has gotten so many mixed reviews from before it was released to after it was released, that I kind of wanted to check out some critics from Rotten Tomatoes who talked about it both positively and negatively, and based on their comments, I wanted to give a little bit of my review on it. I'll see if I agree with their comments, disagree with their comments, and then just give a little insight into the movie. This will be a spoiler-free review, so if you've been busy like myself and still haven't seen the movie yet, there won't be any spoilers. This is just to help you to see if you want to see the movie yourself. I will also have a more in-depth spoiler-free review on my new blog, Gabbin with Jessa Reviews. The link for that will be in the description down below. To start off, I was absolutely blown away by this film. It was just so wild, and I just absolutely loved it. Joker is a psychological thriller movie based on Batman's most famous villain. This movie was directed by Todd Phillips, most famously known for The Hangover, and starred Joaquin Phoenix in the titular role as Joker. I know it's hard for comic book movies to kind of get a little push for Oscar buzz. Black Panther was able to break that mold so well, but none have really gotten any kind of recognition for the acting. Heath Ledger won the award for Best Supporting Actor, unfortunately after his passing away, for the same role as Joker. I don't know what's going to happen Oscar-wise, but I would not be surprised if Joaquin Phoenix walked away with an Oscar nomination because he 100% deserves it. It's not just because it's a comic book movie and he may not get it. I don't think they should take that factor into consideration. He was just so creepy from the beginning. I was so just creeped out by him, and I loved it. It was so amazing. It was great acting. Again, I'm kind of on the fence of whether or not he'll actually get the nomination, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did. I also think a lot of the controversy that was surrounding this film was a little bit hyped up. I see where the concerns are, but I really didn't think that the main concerns that people had with all of this really were related to the film. Alrighty, let's get to some critic reviews. Is it possible in the world of Joker to believe in real heroism? Do the filmmakers even care about that question? I mean, I don't really agree with this. I don't think they were trying to make him a hero because he's not a hero. I think the filmmakers actually did very much understand that question because he's not a hero. They weren't trying to make him a hero. They didn't try to make it seem like he deserved to be a hero. He's not a hero, he's a villain. This was brilliantly crafted cinema. The story falls in place naturally with great performances all around to deliver the story and gorgeous visuals. I agree with this 100%. I think that the movie slows down a little bit in the middle, but it doesn't do it to a point where it kind of detracts from everything. There may not have been a whole lot going on, but the plot still does move forward, and that's why it just felt like it slowed down a bit. Other than that, it was great. Joker is a proceed with caution film with an Oscar-worthy performance by Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, I agree with this completely again. I don't know why this review has gotten the little Rotten Tomatoes splatter on it, because it seems like a pretty positive review. I mean, it is proceed with caution. I'm not gonna lie and say there isn't gun violence or anything like that in it. There is some violence in it. But like, it does have an Oscar-worthy performance by Phoenix, and I agree. I think this is more of a positive comment. Just, you know your limits. So just proceed with caution. The psychological journey of Arthur Fleck is interesting, but overall, I found this movie quite slow-moving and predictable, despite a powerful performance by Phoenix. There's one surprise near the end, though. Again, I agree with this, but I don't think the whole movie was slow-moving at all. Like I just said, I think the middle part was definitely slow-moving. There wasn't a whole lot going on, but my heart was still racing the whole time. I was still really intrigued about what was going on. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff going on, but again, the plot does move forward. For the predictability of it, I could kind of see where the film was going to go. It did have a little bit of a predictability aspect, but I mean, he's right. There was also a very big surprise at the end, and I love that. It kept the movie going for me, and it was a great way to end the film. We've been trolled. I mean, I guess this is right in a way. If you were expecting a movie that was completely filled with violence, and a man, just one little thing went wrong with him, and then he went all crazy and started killing a bunch of people, I guess you got trolled, because that's not what this movie was at all. There actually really wasn't a whole lot of violence in it. I was really surprised. But I just think this is funny. A stunning example of comic book filmmaking done with tangible grit and fearsome artistry. I feel like this is exactly what DC needed to kind of get back on their horse. As a Marvel fangirl, it is really hard to compete with Marvel and how well they have done over the last decade, 11 years. And I really think that DC needs to take more of this route to be able to have the success that they want. I know it may not be as fun and lighthearted as Marvel, but this was good filmmaking. And that's what DC needs. Maybe that's the route that DC needs to go on. That's the path that they need to follow to success. The film isn't worth arguing over when it actually doesn't say anything at all. Yes, I agree. Again, this film isn't worth arguing over, but it's not because it doesn't say anything at all. I just think it's not what people originally thought it was going to say. And it takes a really good look at mental illness and how that can affect someone, and not just in their current life, but how it's affected them their whole lives, and maybe even how they receive that mental illness. And I don't know why this person says it doesn't say anything at all. It says so much. The drama around Joker is overblown, mainly due to the media and people inserting messages in the film that aren't actually there. Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of the media that I saw was that it was just some guy down on his luck and a few bad things happened to him and then he decided to go crazy. But that's not what this is about at all. Again, I do see the concerns with it. There is gun violence, there is violence of many different sorts, and it does include factors that people do go through, like getting fired or something like that. Those things are in the film, and it's because they all add up that lead him to go in his route. But again, it's not just the things that happen to him socially, it's the things he's going through physically, mentally. There's just so much to it. And I just don't really know where this criticism started. I just don't think they watched the same movie I watched. Going off of mental illness, though, it doesn't give him an excuse for any of his actions. I never felt sorry for him at one point. I never sympathized with him. I was never like, oh, well, he's really not that bad of a guy. Yes, he does have a mental illness, but that just doesn't justify what he does. And I did not find myself rooting for him at any point during this movie. At all. With no huge plot surprises, it's another case of waiting for a film to make reveals you had figured out much earlier. Less ta-da and more ta-da. Less ta-da, more ta-da. I mean, I think this is a funny way of putting it. Saying ta-da instead of ta-da, like, that's creative. I guess just kind of to reiterate before, it does drag in the middle. But I think all movies kind of do that. But the plot still moves along, and there are surprises. So you should watch it again. Maybe you'll be surprised again. Okay guys, it looks like that's all the critic reviews that I have for you today. Let me know in the comments whether or not you like this kind of review video. Like I said, I do have a more in-depth version on my blog where you can find in the description down below. Give me a like if you want to see more videos like this, or please tell me if you don't. I just wanted to try something new. It'd be really awesome if you could hit that subscribe button, and until next time, keep on gabbing.